Switched to TCG Card Shop Simulator. Cool. All right, so with that, sorry about like the whole weird delay on the switch over and all that. But for those who haven't seen this game, this is TCG Card Shop Simulator. The gist of the game is if you ever played like Supermarket Simulator or any of the dime a dozen games of that nature, it is one of those. But kind of the thing it differentiates itself is that you are doing collectible card games. So like, as you can see, I've got my collection of cards here that we got going on, that we build up. So that's one extra thing. Of which I do have a card here worth... I've got two cards that are about $1,500 and $1,400. And all that stuff. We are trying to like get the full collection and whatnot, which will take all eternity. But it has that kind of system where, you know, you've got your goods on your shelf, the people come in and buy them, you have to like have them wrung out, then you have to go and actually, you know, reorder to get them back in stock. But I can also add individual cards I've gotten to have on the shelf for like the premium prices and whatnot. But you get the whole idea. You run in a card shop. But the thing that it kind of does, it has extra layers that aren't in the rest of the genre. You got those typical things, but we also have, like, they can play games on the back table, and right now it's just kind of idling, doing not a whole lot. There's playing the card game, but it looks like you can expand on that. I am noticing I'm running out of bundles. Okay, I'm out of... Yeah, so I'll have to do more bundles. But, like, you've got all these things going on. You'll have people who show up, and they haven't bothered bathing. They smell terrible. And they will upset your other patrons. So you spray them with deodorant to make them not upset your other customers, and yada, yada, yada. Alright. So let's see here on what else we need to do. Because last time we were setting up our warehousing to make life easier in that regard. We started getting our first, like, board games, like tabletop games. And then the other thing I wanted to do is switch over from using the smaller boxes to the bigger boxes for the 2 or 3 items we have that with. I'm not going to do that part yet. Alright, so we've got... So I need more of those. I'm going to go ahead and for right now, we're going to start actually trying to cap off the shelves. Is that the purple card you just took over there? Got 22, so there'll be plenty left there. We got the purple boxes. Yeah, you're fine for the moment. I need the blue cards. And I'm just restocking inventory. We'll go ahead and while we're here, get 2 more of those boxes since that's not full. I can go down here, get 2 more of those boxes. Alright. And what I also probably need to do is we're down to selling basically budget cards. And I certainly don't want to waste my time doing that any more than I absolutely have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right in here and say, hey, you know what I want in my life? What if we got a really big box for me to just crack open and get cards? Alright, so I did a big order of stuff, so we just got to get into the warehouse. Our incredibly terrible at doing their job stock person who puts one single packet of cards down at a time, one by one, at the slowest possible speed. Dude, are your feet okay? I mean, I guess you just paint your nails, which is fine. Just really weird color selection. Painting their toenails beige. But yeah, so it's a really fun game. As a warning, this game is extremely addictive. It is absolutely one of those games, like Satisfactory, where you can get going and literally just sit here the whole night and go, when did the sun come up? What's happening? How did we get here? Yeah, so you got like that guy, he was stinking when he came in, so the sprayer sprayed him. That means I gotta top off my sprayer. Alright. But I did get an extra box for me to just pop open for myself. That way I can go and get hopefully some better cards for selling, because one of the nice things is, while it is, you know, it's gambling, but one of the things you'll have with the cracking open the cards is like, yeah, you'll get a bunch of cards that aren't really worth a whole lot, but every once in a while you'll get like a really good one that could be a big boon. But it's also those things to work on while you're sitting here doing this, and, you know, things are sort of... Oh, I forgot I've got, like, the auto-open thing. But yeah, so we're cracking open these cases. You'll see the total value will appear on the bottom. Each one of these is about $4 a bag. So yeah, so we got a card here that's about $15. And it will cycle through rapidly on cards that aren't worth very much, but it will stop on cards that are valuable, which is, I believe, a $10 cutoff. But cards can get up to the literal thousands of dollars. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get some cards to put on my shelf over here, because I'm down to cards that are worth only about $2. And it's just not worth my time to sell $2 cards. Alright, we had a $9, we had a $6 card there. And we are hoping pretty soon to hit level 25, because when I hit level 25, I can get a much better cashier. So it'll help us get through the people who are waiting in line much faster. And there's also a bunch of other things we can unlock, because my next moves are get the new cashier. There is a higher tier of rarity of card packs we can get that I want to start opening those, but I haven't gone to do that. Actually, I think that's a duplicate of the other one we had that was for 15, which means I get to sell that one. Yep. So that's going to be a $15 card we'll be selling. And there's a $17 card and a $14 card. And one of those was not new. And there's another 17, so that's another duplicate that we can sell. So we're getting a decent number of cards we can sell. $21 card. So no real big hits, but a bunch of decent ones. Yeah, so you're gonna go through these 8 boxes and all that. So you're trying to collect other cards as well? Yeah, that's the reason I'm only selling the duplicates. Because if I didn't go with the only selling the duplicates, I could instantly get myself, I think it's 11, well, not instantly. I could very quickly get like $11,000 selling all like my better cards. Because there's like, I got a couple that are worth 1,000 and some change, a whole bunch are worth 500, 600, 700. But my whole collection is worth like 12,000. It's just, there's a lot of junk in there too. Alright, so let's see what we've got right now that we can drop. We got a $20 card. Yeah, so we got some pretty good cards in here. Gonna pick up one? Nope. Alright. Yeah, so I'm restocking that part because my employees can't do it. But yeah, no, we're doing pretty good on getting our collection. We think we have something like 600 or so of all the cards. 25 bucks. Which I'm curious later on how easy it'll be able to tell like what packs you're missing stuff from and all that. But yeah, every once in a while I'll go through and start popping open a bunch of packs. But it's usually how I do is I'll wait till I've got like a nice lead, my inventory's pretty full, and that my shelf the stuff to sell is getting kind of garbage, like $1 and $2 cards. Then I'll start opening a ton of packs, as well as if I run out of bulk packs, which bulk packs are taking all those like 25 and 15-cent cards that you don't care about. Hey, $60, that's not bad. But I'm taking all those like cards that aren't worth anything, putting them into a box of like 100 of them and selling that. Alright, we got 11. And you sell them for cheap, it's like 14 bucks for 100 cards, but it's a way to clear out the junk. Okay. Got $10. $13. $90. There's a good one. Nothing amazing, but we got some decent ones. But the whole time I'm doing this, my store is continuing to operate. We still got our stock person who's restocking our shelves. Our cashier's still cashiering. We've got people playing in the back, which they pay me by the hour to use the tables. It's not much. It's like $7 an hour per person or something, which is really not a whole lot. But I don't have to do anything with the table, so it's a passive income. Alright. And then this will be the last box out of, like the last carton out of this box. Yep, so this is garbage. So basically we just topped off some of our cards and all that. So we're at least selling at like the $9, $10 price range versus $1, $2. And on top of that, I should be able to go here and bundle up some cards to get rid of my cheap cards. Because it's part of what I've been doing to like force myself to actually open the packs, is when I notice those bulk cards start running out. That's when I start opening packs to get myself more bulk. Treating it like another item I have to keep in inventory, just one that takes a little effort on my part. Okay. Alright, so I need to get another one of those, because that spot's empty. And I need another thing of the rare cards. I need another thing of the deodorant. I need... well, that'll be a separate order. I need both of these sleeves we've got going on, so those and these. I need more of the pig plush. And I believe that's everything for this store. Let's see, why doesn't any store management game have an inventory system? Its main reason to have computers in a business? Oh no, absolutely. Like, I would be down for being something you unlock. Like you start the game, and it's like you're sitting there on, you know, your super old school register. There's no computerization to it. It's basically a glorified typewriter with receipt paper. I would be okay with that. And then you work your way up to it. So one thing I'd notice is I don't actually need the pig plush. The person was stocking it up and then dropped it on the floor when their shift was done. Does you temporarily overclocked a bunch of your fuel production? Hopefully it's fixed for now. Yeah, no, you end up having to do a bunch of that. Oh, you didn't realize you could set the max value? Yeah. Alright. And we're closed for today. So we made 1,000. Oh, I just got an achievement for making a $1,000 profit in one day. Cool. I thought I'd already gotten that, but I guess we didn't. So that's fine. We're going to open immediately. I need to pay my bills. Okay, and you do have the ghost thing. That's all fine. Yeah, so I should be able to order this. And I also need to go here. I'm going to unlock the next license for games. So I'm going to get one box of those. I think I need, we'll say 4 boxes of these. I am noticing the tabletop games are honestly relatively inexpensive. All things considered. And so you agree you worked at many warehouse and companies and tracking stock. It would be a nightmare. Oh yeah, no, I remember it was like a whole big thing that when I okay, They are different games. When I worked in retail, that, like, not only would they keep inventory, but they would, go in later and, like, verify it as, like, a regular thing. And it would always be off by, like, 1 or 2 because people steal things. There's just not another way to say it. People steal things. I mean, also you'll have stuff that is used in the store that someone forgets to, you know, forgets to take the time to say, hey, I'm taking this to use, like, you know, hey, I needed a pair of scissors in the department, so I pulled a pair of scissors off the shelf. And I forgot to go into the inventory and mark that I, you know, put a pair of scissors to use. That's not all nefarious stuff. That said, if you work retail and the number of packages that you find that don't have the product in them, tucked behind shelves and all that, it's pretty upsetting. Alright, so let's grab you. And drop this off. No, because that was... Like, and there's also different types of floss. Like, I worked in a tool store as my main retail experience. And you could understand when, like, you would look and, you know, a number 2 bit for a screwdriver or something disappeared. You're like, I get it. You know, the person needed a screwdriver bit. They weren't here to try and make a money. They had a need. And I guess whether they decided they couldn't afford it, like, that's something else. But at least they were stealing something that they had an actual genuine purpose, like, that they needed. Versus you'd then have the people who would go through, find the most expensive drill set you had on the floor, and steal that. And you're like, all right, you're stealing that to resell it. That's what you're doing. You're here because you're going to go and take that, and you're either going to pawn it or whatever your means of getting it. You know, go to, like, some place and sell it directly, however you're going to do it, flea market it. But you're looking to just basically make a buck. Because no one's grabbing, like, a number 2 bit screwdriver and then, like, nabbing that to try and turn around and sell it for a profit. Or sell it to make money in general. Like, you're gonna make nothing on it. Alright, so we can use another one of these boxes. And everything else seems to be stocked up because you are actively restocked. No, actually. No, you're actively restocking that. That's fine. Cool. Then go ahead and put that order in. Alright. Okay. So basically just trying to keep the warehouse mostly stocked up. Let our stocking employee deal with actually figuring out what needs to go where and deal with it. All right. Look, I'll restock that if you want. I've been, like, sitting here watching this one shelf, and he's like, no, I don't like that plush. I'm not gonna restock that. You can't make me. There we go. It's restocked. Alright. Restocking our dice. Hey man, I'm literally putting that on the shelf. What's... Come on. Yeah, so definitely gonna need to get bigger boxes of a bunch of these things. Because these ones are the littler boxes. It's just not a priority right now. Alright. And I kind of like the idea of getting literally all the tabletop stuff set up. Man, that game looks super familiar to me. I know people said that, like, Necromonsters and that, there was, like, deals. I know I've seen that box art somewhere. These other ones, no, but this one here, I have, and that one there I've seen. But apparently there's some type of partnership between the game devs for this and those board games. These tabletop games are in real-life games? Yeah, the ones... kind of looks like Gold Digger game, but you don't know there was a board game version. You know, I remember messing with the board game version. Like, I know I've seen that one. This one, I don't remember being called Claim. I remember there's like 2 or 3 games that are similar that you're trying to get gold. Like, there's one that there's, it's kind of a werewolf game, but you're with dwarves. I remember playing that one. And that was a pretty fun one. For those who don't know what I mean by a werewolf game, there's a game called Werewolf that basically you have X number of players, one of them is a werewolf. And so what ends up happening is you kind of play it in phases. It's like Among Us where you're trying to trick people and all that, except for where you're not running around doing tasks or whatever. But the way it works is one person's a werewolf is trying to eliminate enough people that he can just overpower the last one and win. Whereas the other ones are trying to figure out who is the werewolf. And so there's many different iterations of the game. But at the gist of it is, at the end of each day, people talk and try to... Or sorry, at the beginning of each day, people talk and try to vote out who they think is the werewolf. And then if they get it right, then, you know, that's how you win as the people who aren't the werewolf. Meanwhile, the person who is the werewolf is trying to throw people off. And there's extra game mechanics to it as well. It's a big social board game, yeah. Because you'll end up having... Usually there'll be people who have, like, special roles. Like, you'll have a person who can pull someone aside and, like, ask them a question. Or, like, they'll have... Like, it depends on the iteration. Like, what they'll do is they'll have the person who's running the game... But like the person who can investigate people, and he goes, "Hey, I'm investigating this person." You know, like what is their role or whatever. And usually when you have that, that's when you're talking bigger groups of people, like 12, where you'll have like 2 or 3 werewolves in the, well, probably 2 werewolves in the group. And if the investigator finds a werewolf, it's like that's a werewolf. And then that doesn't automatically mean you get the werewolf. What happens is then the investigator has to convince the other players that they need to kill the werewolf. Like, they need to kill that person that they're the werewolf. Of course, that person could be lying and is actually the werewolf, blaming someone else to be the werewolf, thus giving them an extra kill. And so, like, the next night, then they would get, you know, extra. And if you have, at any point, the number of werewolves ties the number of remaining players, it's a win for the werewolves, because the idea is you no longer need to hide, you just go out and kill them. Let's see, every player is a member of the town who has different roles. Like the Tanner, it was having a rough go and wins if the town thinks he is a werewolf. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. They'll like, as you get bigger and bigger groups, they'll start having more roles that have more stuff to go in there. If you ever played Town of Salem is a different form of werewolf. There's also, I think there's a game called Mafia that it's, again, the same basic idea. It's just the specific roles and how they work. Move around. Hi.
I'm heading downstairs.
That's a somewhat responsible wifey.
Yeah. I love you very much.
I love you more.
Thank you for being sweet.
But I'm not sweet.
Oh no.
I'm probably salty.
Our marriage is based on a lie.
Well, that's probably true. Sleep well. Love. Alright. So I need... Is a huge board game nerd? Yeah, I'm not a huge board game nerd. Like, I used to play more board games. Like, I remember being a big fan of Pandemic back in the day. Really enjoyed that one. Pandemic is good if you've never played the board game. It is a very good board game. It's one of the few board games you have that it's you versus the game. No, really, you do panels on that stuff? Nice. Yeah, no, there's a decent number of player versus board, but like they've existed long before Pandemic. It felt like Pandemic was the one that kind of broke it into a bit more mainstream. Because otherwise all the other board games not all the other ones, a lot of board games that were very common back then, before Pandemic and all that, there was a lot of them where it was intended to be player versus player, like the Monopolies and, you know, Sorry and Trouble and all these kind of ones. You'd have ones that got more involved, like 13 Dead End Drive. And then Pandemic showed up and said, but what if the board game just kicked the crap out of you? Because I want to say there's different difficulties you could play Pandemic at. And some of the harder ones is you really had to have people very coordinated working together, or the board game was going to be the winner. We're gonna pop another box. Okay, grab that. Honestly, I'm finding, for our purposes here... Ah, lady. Personal space. Getting jump scared here. Alright. Just minding my own business, and the lady's like, I can smell your deodorant. And you're like, lady, please. Please. I run a card shop. If you like 13 Dead End Drive, you may like the Prodigals Club. Concept, you're a rich curmudgeon with unfit heirs, and you must destroy your wealth via work placement. Interesting. There was I wasn't able to find it again. There was a really, really old game where you ran resorts. So you're like running a whole bunch of these different hotels and all that. It was sort of like Monopoly, but they definitely tried to make the rules not Monopoly. And I know there's been other games that have come out that have been similar, and usually when I bring that up, people mention those other games. And it's like, no, that game's good too. And I was never able to find it again. Oh, there we go. But it was an interesting one because it wasn't just like Monopoly where there is strategy to it. Like actual Monopoly rules is a whole thing. Like you have the people complaining that Monopoly never ends, but the reality is you follow the actual rule. Monopoly actually has a pretty set amount of time it tends to take. That the idea is when you're playing Monopoly, if you're following the actual rules, it's basically a death spiral from the very beginning, that just the money keeps tanking down and down and down, and there's just no preventing it from going. But everyone has their house rules, like free parking gives you the money in the middle. The idea is the game is supposed to be constantly removing money from the board, and you just somehow have to try and make it work. That there's way more outputs for wealth than inputs. That said, I still don't enjoy Monopoly. Okay, pay our bills. And I need more spray. Because right now I'm kind of just continuing to expand and like we'll get the entire collection of board games up. I guess this will be more plushes in time. I also have plenty of room for more of the different types of sleeves. The problem with the sleeves is my store needs to get bigger, so I have another warehouse shelf soon. Because I got one space up there and one space down there, and then these two I'm saving for the higher level cards. And meanwhile, it's time to open some packs. These are cheaper packs. Hey, $20 card. All right. But yeah, and for the record, you can get mods from this from Nexus Mods. We are technically running 3 mods. I have one mod that basically just lets me open these packs faster. It just makes the animation faster. 18 bucks. Because, as you can see, when you start opening a bunch of boxes, it takes a hot minute. We do have a mod that is auto-updating our prices on the day. Because what normally happens is you have a whole bunch of prices go up and down. But in practice, all that means is when you start your day, you go around, that's not what I wanted to do, and you'd left click, you'd hit market price, you'd hit plus 10, you'd hit done. Maybe you round. And that doesn't sound bad, but every single additional item is one more you have to do. And so it very quickly becomes, this isn't me as a player thinking about anything or any like skill to it. It's literal monotony. So I got a mod that just basically every single morning goes and says, okay, you're set price to 10% over market value. And then the last mod, I am blanking on what it does. So I've got the one that, oh, it turns on the light at 4 p.m. Because it's annoying to have to do that. Which it's, all these games are based off like the same, I think it's like a asset pack kind of thing. All right, so $13. And so every single one of these types of games is like, no, you have to turn on the light manually. And you're like, but why? Why would I not just turn on the light at the beginning of the day? Why do I have to like manually do this every day? Is this cutting edge gameplay? Is this a good experience to flip the light switch? So it's just kind of one of those things I'm like, yeah, I'll just make that go away. But yeah, another quality of life mods. I do think, very genuinely, this game probably does need to... They've already got a bar where you can say open the pack faster to make it like twice as fast. I do think they literally just need to say, okay, you can go up to like 10 times or 8 times as fast and just be done with it. Because they already recognize the need to open it faster. It's like, no, but really, open it faster. Like, I want to go real fast. I would even be okay if, like, when we get to this and you're getting to later on, you could disable the sounds for, like, the not good cards. So new cards that plays the sound, valuable cards that plays the sound. Otherwise, it just kind of shows you the end, like, just show me the end result. And then just put them aside real fast. You know, skip the animation. Hey, 35 bucks, that's a good one. Considering these are just basic packs. But yeah. If you ever want a silly game, there's a game called I Can't Believe This Is, or something like I Can't Believe This Is Not Gambling, or something like that. But it is literally a game where you just open loot boxes. That's all it is. So you start with like $100, and you spend money to buy loot boxes. All right, $20, and you spend your in-game money to buy loot boxes, and then you open them up and they give you stuff, and then you can discard those things to get money back to then open more loot boxes. And it is just a weird game, but it's a commentary on loot boxes and all that sort of stuff, as well as they have commentary on achievement grinding and all that, which, granted, the person who ran it had an achievement that was effectively ungettable, and people got really upset with them because people like achievement grinding, which of course he's trying to make it a commentary about some achievements are just dumb. But it became this whole mixed thing about, he was like, I don't know what to do, like, this is supposed to be a commentary on it, and that side I feel is important. But also, like, I do understand that this makes my game less enjoyable, and that's kind of a problem within itself, and not sure what to do with that. Alright. So we've got those, they're all full. We popped open a whole bunch of these. So we got a couple of good cards we can drop off. So at least we're selling a bunch of cards, at least keeping over the $5 price point as best we can. Now I go to our table, bundle up some cards. But it's for what the game is, it's fun, and it kind of gives you, like, it really sinks home just how incredibly awful and predatory loot boxes are as a mechanic, especially when that game came out. It was a lot of the times where you go to play, you know, your game, and you'd have to spend $5, $6, $7, $8 to buy a loot box. You know, roll the dice to get stuff. Is before it became kind of like really, really knowledge, like everyone started to realize that loot boxes are pretty awful. And it does like a really good job with just so much of that. Cool, so we got our bulk packs topped off. How are we doing in our inventory? You're not doing the star plushes. So I need a box of the star plushes. I need a box of those packs. What do you already have in there? Cleanser. Right, and I didn't order it because paying $5 in shipping on that. And you're doing the red dice now? Yes. So you're actively doing the red dice. We've got the plush queued up. I need 2 boxes of these cards. And all the rest of that looks fine. So let's get that order in. Okay. It'll also be nice if I get the store to be a little bit bigger, so I don't have to, like, be squeezing in between shelves. And I have plenty of room. Like, we're putting more shelves in here. But, like, squeezing around the outside of these just to get to the back area. Like, it'll be nice when the store is bigger. And I can just fit more. Okay. So, the next thing on the list is not here. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, you're $1,000. Okay, hang on, that's gonna wait. Because I want to go ahead and get the next board game up on our shelves. Or tabletop. Okay, so we want to go here, and I need to get another box of those, because it's 2 per box. And I'll need another box of this. And I'll probably need 2 boxes of these. I think I have to dedicate more shelf space for the board games because of how big they are. You can go from having your whole inventory stocked up and maxed out to you don't have any more on the shelf. relatively quickly. Okay, so let's get that license. So quantity 6, I'm going to assume I need like 4 of those. I might need more than that, but we'll worry about that when we get there. But then we'll get Necromancer up on the shelf as well. And we'll probably need to scooch all this over, make room for one more shelf. Get some more of the tabletop stuff going on. And that'll fill that spot up. Let's see what we can do from there. The sleeves probably also need more shelf space each, because people come through and buy them in like, you know, a set of like 15 or so and just wipe it out. Alright, top off the deodorant machine. Alright, we'll need a box of those. Box of these. I will need a box of you. Can wait on that a minute. And we're getting really close to level 25, which is when I can get the really good cashier. At which point, then our current cashier is going to find themselves unemployed. I mean, wait, what? Your days are numbered. Just absolutely depleting the shelves. Yeah, no, with a lot of these games, one mechanic I'd love to see is the ability to do like you can do in Big Ambitions, where you can go to like a purchasing agent kind of thing and say, hey, every single day, I want you to send me this, like, 2 boxes of that. Like, that's how much I typically sell in a day, just always send me 2 boxes of the blue cards every single day. And if I end up getting a bit too much, that's fine. Like, I can tell you to skip an order, but I have to manually do it. Or if I need a little extra, I can then buy an extra box on top of it. Don't just leave that on the floor. Okay, rare packs. We'll need another one of those. Already got the box there. Got the rest all squared away. Then go ahead and I'll order that in the meantime. Get all these shelves topped off. Okay. We got all that squared away. We are trying to purchase the board games and restock that. So we checked that. It's only 669 to do so. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're closed. I need you to leave. All right. And we're honestly also getting to the point where I probably need a better person at stocking our shelves. Okay, so we got those mostly topped off. You're all good here. Those look like they're relatively fine. Those look relatively fine. That's not what I wanted to see. I mean, I do want to see it. I do actually want them buying that. But also, inventory is fading fast. Yeah, very soon we're gonna be dipping below $5. I think that's a point where we'll make sure we go out of our way to top off our inventory. Okay, so when I hit $740, then I need to buy all the tabletop stuff. Just the idea of going to your like local store and then just having someone just go up to you, start blasting you with deodorant, like from the staff, being like, "Hey man, come on." It amuses me so much. Like, you wouldn't actually do that. There are people who have allergies for different deodorants and all that. So, you know, you'd be putting yourself in pretty bad shape for, like, liability and all that. But there's just something about being like, "Hey, man, you're rank." It's everything you want to do when you work retail? Yeah, I mean, what you'd actually do is if someone is stinking that bad, you'll be like, "Hey, like, you gotta go, man." Like, not trying to be mean, but, like, seriously. The BO is real. Like, I did deal with a lot of that when I worked at Tools. We had a lot of people who, you know, they had clearly been in the middle of their work day and whatever tool they were working with broke, like they broke a bit or whatever. And so they were coming in to try and get whatever they're missing sorted out. But they're, you know, out in the sun, getting all sweaty and gross and all that. So you understood it. And a lot of them would even apologize and be like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I just need to get some and get out of here." You're like, "Nah, I got you, I understand." Even do the John Woo style with the twin aerosol. Oh, man! The aerosol deodorants. I don't know why, but that made me think of the crime scene cleaner where you get like the little sponges. You're doing like the little rotation of sponges, the dual wielding your sponges, cleaning things up. Just be like, "Hey man, you stink." There we go. That's it. I am not going up to someone with some wet sponges and trying to clean them up. I'm out. It's not, no. Many, many boundaries would be crossed, not only with the person receiving the sponge bath by force. Just as much, my own boundaries are being crossed by being in the situation of doing that. That is definitely like, nope, definitely way outside anything remotely resembling something comfortable. Alright. Which, as a reminder, tomorrow's stream will be the second stream that we're doing from a sponsored segment, which is we were sponsored, or are sponsored, by Business Heroes Street Grub. We did our first stream yesterday. It was a lot of fun. If you like Lemonade Tycoon, absolutely heavily recommend. For the record, like me telling you like that now, that's not part of the sponsorship. That's me telling you because I feel like it. Because it actually does seem like a really good game. What happens if you don't spray your customers? Other customers around them get upset. Other customers are like, "Oh man, this smells so foul." Okay, so we've got inventory of that. That line's just growing. You need a faster cashier? Yep. I get one in about 2,000 XP. That's why we're in the situation. In about 2,000 XP, I can get a better cashier. Like, the best cashier. But I need 2,000 XP. Because otherwise, it's literally the best cashier I can currently get right now. Yep, so as you saw, she went in there and got sprayed. And new merchandise. Did you... Oh, We got one that got past. Sometimes when someone goes through, another person follows right after. The second one manages to sneak on by without getting sprayed. All right. That's too many. Some use 3 spares at the entrance just for coverage. Yeah, no, I could see that. The bigger thing I'm curious about is, like, with the really big sprayers, how much of an advantage there is. Did I? Oh, no, you have it right there. Did I order the wrong thing? Alright, whatever. Okay, so I need another box of those. Probably 2. Not gonna worry about that last board game right now. Meanwhile, we can go to our stock here. So I've got the rare and the rare box and the epic pack. So I need the rare pack and all that. We need the epic box. That's all fine up there. That's all good there. We're all good here. Pay our bills. Okay, so that's $509. It's basically $600 to get that all sorted. Get some cleaner in there. Helping the stock person catch up. Okay, looking pretty good there. And we are out of the bulk cards. So we'll want to deal with that. So I can go here. Let's get 2 boxes of that for my bulk. Grab the bat. That's all looking pretty okay. Alright, so I did buy too many of those. Alright. So we're making good progress. I do need to be saving some money for when we hit level 25, because at level 25 we're gonna go... It looks good how organized the shop is. Yeah, now we actually have the warehouse shelves. It's making it way less cursed. Alright. And you need 840... There it is. Okay, so 2 rare boxes going on my shelf for opening. Alright. So that's for me. That's also for me. All right. See if we can't get anything good to add to our inventory for sale. $22, not bad. Also, I found, honestly, the fastest way I found to gain XP is opening cards. Because you gain something like 17 to like 35. I don't know what determines it, like if it's the value of the cards, the rarity, or whatever. But, you just get really fast XP from doing it, versus if you're waiting on the customers and you don't have many customers in a given time, then you get, like, no XP from that. Yeah, the tabletop gives you XP, but they'll sit there for half the day before you get anything. Versus being able to, you know, about 1 minute, go through all the cards, and then spit that out, and then instantly getting yourself some decent XP from it. Alright, $30 card. You know, being able to knock out 200, 300, 400 XP out of a box is not too shabby. And then plus you get extra XP because then you turn around and you sell your cards. And so you get to do one action and get multiple bits of XP out of it. Yeah, so it's averaging somewhere around 20. Alright, so that's 30 bucks. I also imagine the amount of money in a transaction weighs in how much it's worth. Alright, 15. So selling expensive cards does give you a chance of getting the bonus for like opening the pack of XP, then turning around and selling the valuable card, and then getting another bonus out of it. So it almost feels like you buy your XP. 25. $123 card. There we go. Yeah, so I got 123 XP out of that pack. So like 1 or 2 more packs like that, and we'll be level 25. And then we're gonna save up for the better cashier, get rid of the one we've got right now. And that should help a great deal in improving our current situation. Did you drop a box on the floor? Tell me you didn't. I don't see one. Alright. Yeah, I think at this box we should level up to 25. And then I'm guessing this guy we're gonna hire is gonna probably be $2,000 to $3,000, is I think what the hiring cost is gonna be. I am curious, like, if you tell your employee to rest, if you still pay the monthly whatever, or do you have to actually fire them? Like, that's the things I'm less certain on. Yeah, so we're level 25 now. 123, that's the same card, so that's a duplicate. We're now going to put a $123 card in our shelf. And that's a third one of it, so we're going to have 3 of those, apparently. That's weird RNG right there, getting the same rare card 3 times back-to-back. Not going to exactly complain. 120 is a very solid find. I still got 2 more customers in the line. $20. But yeah, so you see, since we started opening these card packs, there's another one there. I'm already getting pretty close to hitting like 10% to the next level. I'm about 5% to the next level. Alright, so as soon as we get through this one, we'll advance the day. No one hiding back there? Hey man, we're closed. Get the hell out of my store. Cool, so immediately open, because I don't see any reason to not do that. Yep, so we're selling those for $140 a pop. Got a $30 and a $13 card to sell. And then we're back to like $5 and $6 cards. So I guess you don't have to worry about thieves in this game? No. No, there's no shoplifting as a mechanic. I'm honestly glad that a lot of these games haven't bothered with that. It's honestly a mechanic. it's really easy to take a game that is fun and interesting and then just make it kind of an annoying arcadey kind of game in that regard. Like, you have Gas Station Simulator has the person who shows up and vandalizes your stuff, the little kid. And that's a fine mechanic. But that's already because it is kind of slapsticky. But just the usual thing is like, how would you set up the gameplay around it? Do you confront the person and hit him with a bat or something? And a lot of times it just really takes away from the simulation style of the game. It just doesn't fit. The alternative is, instead what happens is people show up and then just some percent of your merchandise gets stolen. And that just kind of feels bad that you get like progress taken away unless you put, you know, security measures in place or you hire a security guard. There's definitely ways they can do it that's better. But a lot of these kind of games, you know, you might want to run the place entirely by yourself. Alright, so all our tabletop games are still there. That's all doing fine. You're dropping off the loose stuff. I can go ahead and top this off real quick. System Gate 2. That's that one. Why? Oh, no, that's this one's System Gate 2. Right, and I haven't picked it up because I have like 1.5 boxes worth that need to be there. Alright, so we need to go here and get another one of these boxes. Pay our bills. Okay, so recruiting our really, really, really good cashier is 2,400 bucks. But the checkout speed is very fast. Gonna go ahead and get ourselves Clark Cash on our staff. He didn't want you to sack your cashier. That's too bad because that's definitely happening. Like, there are certain things that are foregone conclusions, and firing my cashier is definitely among them. Hey, that's what happens for him being untrainable. Look at this line. Why haven't you picked up the pace? You've been working here for 60 days, and you literally work at the exact same speed from the day I hired you. You haven't learned to improve in your efficiency. You've gotten no additional familiarity with the equipment. You literally have a weirdly exact speed that you will never deviate from. Accessories, add that on there. Purple boxes. There we go. Got the blue boxes. Okay, so we're getting to the point I am going to have to put in order. Are you putting up the plushies now? Yeah, and you're not going to empty that box. So let's go ahead and put in that order. It's not a big order, so it's cleanser and the box up there. Go ahead and add an extra cleanser on there. Because we use it in the store ourselves, too. Alright. That's fine. When I need to refill something, we'll be good there. Okay. And I haven't been watching to see, have any of our really valuable cards moved? We still have that $140 card there. It looks like one of them is sold. Or is in the line to be sold. Because thankfully in this game, you don't have the situation where they wait in line long enough and they go, oh, well, forget it. And like ditch the stuff there. Especially since a lot of games when they do that, it destroys the product. Just because. Alright, we got our tabletop stuff back in stock. Alright. Cool, so that's all stocked up. That's all stocked up. We are moving our cards. All right. We don't have more of the bulk things. So that'll be opening up more cards. Oh, it's interesting. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna say hard. So your restock speed normal, slow checkout, and your slow restock normal checkout. This guy here who's 2000 does fast restocking and normal checkout. So most likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Clark Cashier, and we're gonna have him take over the register, get rid of the person we've got. And then we'll go until we get Angus here. And then Angus will go ahead and take over stocking. And that should mean, like, we can handle way more so far as everything going on. Let's see, the game does limit the amount of customers you can have in the store at one time, so moving the line means you can get more customers the store day. Yeah, that's the whole reason I do want to get the other one. Getting professionals in their disciplines. Yeah, and that's the reason we definitely want to upgrade it. Because the thing is, I could buy another register for $1,500 to help out. But for just that little extra more, I can hire literally the best cashier in the game. I mean, there's one that does best at all that. So we definitely want to get Clark here to get that line moving. Because also if I put a second register in here, then suddenly this whole place becomes claustrophobic. It'll be so full of stuff. Like, you wouldn't barely be able to move in here. Assuming I can wedge it in, which I probably can. I probably can put it here, shift all these shelves over, maybe turn them this way and make it work. Let's see, when did you hire your first? You're level 19 and refuse to pay someone yet? Oh, I hired them the moment you could. Like, the absolute moment the game let me hire someone. Because you look at what they cost, and it's really not much. And it lets you sit there and do, like, more opening of the packs of cards and all that, which can be a useful thing. Alright, so we can go here for our next order. I'm going to put one of the big boxes of cards in there for personal use. Okay, and meanwhile, I need another one of you. And I need another one of you. Okay, and you're doing that actively. You'll tell you haven't hired anyone yet? They don't really seem worth it when I can do everything yourself faster. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, though. They can do it all faster, but, like, there is something to say being able to, like, step back and just open packs of cards and do that kind of stuff and not have to sit there and do that. Like, for one, the cashiering in these types of games, I actually really don't like, because in real life, there is not many cash registers you walk up and you scan an item, and then after you scan the item, it goes, okay, that's like $5, and then you go to, like, the credit card machine and start punching in the numbers. No, it just charges the card. And there's things where you can say, no, I want to manually enter it separately. But like, no, you just sit there and go, okay, do this. Like, you don't go to your local fast food place or whatever, and they have to go, hang on, I'm gonna need you to tell me like how much this says so I can pin it in or whatever. There's some stuff you have to like type in, like when you're weighing some stuff and all that. Sometimes you have to enter a code for what the item is and that kind of nonsense. But generally speaking, cashiering is way less tedious than what they're showing here. With Clark and Angus running the store, literally crack packs all day and refill the single cards as needed. Yeah. Which is a good place to be, because then we can start getting really fancy cards by just popping open a bunch more packs. Which that's what I got going on right now, is I've got my order that I'm going to be doing is going to have like the really rare packs. Okay, so you're working on that right now. Because I'm basically just checking the inventory regularly. Like, I do kind of wish, like, make it something you buy. I do kind of wish we could have, like, a computer over here that's, like, our inventory system or whatever, that I can then go in and just, like, peek at and go, here is how many of this you have in your entire store. And I go, cool. Let me go ahead and get another one of those. $13,000 foil yesterday from a legendary pack? Yeah. I haven't gotten a, like, I've probably gotten cards that are considered, like, ghosts or whatever, but I haven't got any that are, like, exceedingly valuable. Like, right now, looking at my collection, my big cards are these ones over here. I got one for that's 1,500, I've got one that's 1,400, and then we start dropping, and like, all the rest sit around 600 and 700 for the most part, till we get to, like, the next page. Okay, so you're carrying a box outside. So I'll be the white dice. I wasn't sure if he actually got the box to the trash before the day ended. Okay. Wrap it up. Store's closing. So what's the spray do on entry into the store? Basically, you'll have some people like stink with body odor. If you don't spray them with deodorant, then other customers around them will get upset, so it pisses people off. So those things by the door is when someone comes in who stinks, it automatically sprays them at the door. So we get them cleaned up as fast as possible. Alright. I do really wish, like, the dissatisfied customer is that I'm assuming because my lines are horrendously long. That's what my guess is. Alright, let's pay our bills. Okay, and I went ahead, even though I was trying to save for the new staff member, I figured we'd go ahead and just get our stuff stocked up. It's fine. I believe that's for me. Just topping off the inventory real quick. Alright, we got board games. So looks like you need 2 boxes, or I need 2 of those. And then the other ones look like they're doing fine. We'll go ahead and order that. All right. All right, you've already got it. Good job, man. I'm gonna be doing the most important job in the entire place right back here. Don't worry about it. I assure you, I will save this store. All I have to do is continue throwing all of my money into packs of cards until we get rich. There's $10. See, we're basically already there. That's literally all I have to do. It's like you just keep getting lottery tickets until you win. I mean, what are the chances you don't win, right? They're terrible. Don't do that. And also, don't genuinely try to keep yourself afloat by just buying large volumes of packs of trading cards and selling them. It's not going to go well for you. Yes, technically there's a slight, hey, 150. There's a slight chance in real life you might be that lucky person who pulls several $1,000s worth of cards out of a pack. It's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. 23 bucks. Pretty soon, I might change the value it pauses at to be higher. 26 bucks. Because those little $10 cards, 30 bucks, not that exciting anymore. Maybe set it to 25 bucks. There's $22. You can't win if you don't play. Right, but hear me out. Statistically, most likely, you will not win if you do play either. Like, there's a whole thing of statistically probable, statistically improbable, statistically impossible, which is not to be mistaken for actually impossible. Like, it is statistically impossible for you to be struck by lightning 3 times. But if you're standing outside holding a golf club above your head, you're gonna make it happen, probably, eventually. 105. But under normal circumstances, it'd be a statistical impossibility. It's just so far outside the realm of expectation that while it still technically can happen, statistically speaking, it is just implausible. It'd be the same thing as taking like 200 dice and then rolling them all and having nothing but 6s. Technically possible, but it is such an unlikely thing to happen. It would qualify as a statistical impossibility. Whereas taking 10 dice and rolling it and having them all 6s is also very unlikely, but that'd be a statistical improbability. It's not so far off base that it's just, you'll be like, that'll never happen. It'll be like, no, that'll happen, but very unlikely. So you're saying there's a chance. Correct. Technically, a chance exists. Technically. All right, and grab a couple more. What are your favorite lines from Dumb and Dumber? Well, there are people who are like that, who are just very genuinely, hey, 121, like that. There are people who be like, hey man, what's the odds of winning this? Oh, 0.000000001. Oh, well, let's do it. And you're like, no, did you not hear me? You're dropping $100, and your chance of winning is like not even the skill thing, like just the random chance, basically doesn't exist. It's one of the reasons that I don't play the lottery. Like, don't get me wrong, there are lottery tickets that can kind of be just, it can be a fun, entertaining thing to, you know, spend a buck, you know, a couple of bucks and get a thing and be like, oh yeah, oh no, I didn't win. Aw, darn. And like, just make an experience, but you just accept you burn that money. It's basically like if you could find like a $5 bill and light it on fire and you found that entertaining. It's the same thing. And we got Ganon there for 10 bucks. Have you never met a gacha player? Oh no, I'm well aware of what happens with that stuff. But you don't play the lottery. You can't dream about winning the lottery. Like, that's the thing. You can play it and be fine. It's the same thing like going to the casino. If you go to the casino with the expectation of walking out of that building, making a good amount of money, the most likely thing is you're going to be horrifically disappointed. And we got $17. But if you go into the casino saying, hey, I'm bringing $100 with my night, that is my donation to the house. If I happen to walk out with more than I went in with, all the better. That is totally fine. You have fun, you go there, and that's how much you're willing to torch. That's fine. 28, which is the way I've been to casinos, that's what I would do. Hey, $93, that's a good one. That's the way I go to casinos on the very, very, very rare occasion I would go to one. Is I'm like, how much am I donating to the casino today for a good time? And then, you know, my goal is to have a good time with that money. But you get into the really bad part when someone's like, no, man, I'm due for a win. Like, don't worry, we'll get that car paid off. I just need a little bit of luck. Hey man, you need to stop hovering over me. My luck's turned to crap while you're here. And you're just like, look, you're not gonna be okay. This is not the way to go, man. And there were games that you could actually, with enough time and effort, like, be able to make money, like games like Blackjack. But casinos have gone out of their way that if there is a game that realistically, through player skill, you could be profitable, they basically make everything possible to make it against the rules, to do the thing, to make it profitable. Because if the game genuinely, you could consistently walk away ahead, they wouldn't have that game at the casino. The entire way the casino makes its money is it looks at everything and says, okay, we have stacked the statistics as heavily for us as we can, because not only do they need to make a profit, but they need to make money to pay for all of the people who work at the casino and all of that. And trust me, they would not operate if it was not a near guarantee that they would be making buku bucks. But yeah, there's only 2 or 3 games that you could, like, not just random chance of the odds against you win. Like, don't get me wrong, there is the chance you could walk up to the slot machine, pull it 777s, and walk out of there with a whole lot of money and likely a security detail to help get you to your car. But it's a negligible chance to the point you could do just about anything else with that money, and most likely that would be the better choice. It would be a far more efficient way of using your money to simply find the absolute safest investment you can. Like get like a certified deposit and get, you know, your 2-3% or whatever you can get out of it. And that would be a better use of that money so far as actually gaining something from it. It's not as fun, but, you know, there's a reason you don't see, like, incredibly wealthy people being like, how did you make your money? Well, what I did was I took my millions of dollars and I went to the local casino and I started pulling the lever on the high-stakes slot machine. That's how this fortune came to be. That's how you hear about the guy who lost his fortune. I distinctly remember going to, we have the casino boats here in Central Florida. You've heard too many tales of casinos refusing to pay out slot machine jackpots, claiming a software issue. I haven't heard so much of that. I feel like that would be one of those ones they could make the claim, and you could easily just take it to a courtroom, and they could drag it out or whatever. But if they have a software issue, that's on their problem. Like, that's a them issue, not a you issue. They could try, but it'd be one of those things that the moment you got a competent lawyer involved, you're getting your money. That said, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried not to pay it, but that'd be one of those things that you'd want to, like, take pictures, film it, get witnesses, like, everything when you do that. Be like, no, 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 no. You owe me this money. With how many people you screw over, the least you're gonna do is you're gonna give me this one pay. Absolutely. Alright, so my hope is, if we can get these last few people through here, the chance of these people buying enough to, like, what I need is one of these people to go through here and clean off this top shelf. Or didn't we have a card that was worth, we got some cards worth like 30 net. I thought I put another card up here that was like pretty high up there. No, it's not looking like it. That's what they do. That's what they do. You have to sue them, and most of the time, people are forced to settle for a lesser amount due to lawyer fees it would take to win. Yeah, I mean, there's that. But, like, that's the kind of stuff you can usually get a lawyer to be willing to work with you, where if a lawyer sees that it is a case that will be won, it's just a matter of time, they're usually willing to work with you for a cut of the winnings or whatever when you do ultimately win. Those kind of cases that are like, oh yeah, that's just a case we're gonna win. It's just a matter of time. Lawyers will usually jump on that. Because it's a guaranteed paycheck, it's just gonna take a while. And then usually with those, when it comes down to a suit, you just make sure that your win includes all the lawyer's fees. And most of the time with stuff like that, you will get those lawyer's fees as part of your winnings. Which you should. Because very obviously they're dragging it out to just try and not pay. Have the TCG heard of folks who had a big win got mugged on account of the noise folks make when they hit the big win? So most of the time these days, when you have a big win at the casino, they give you a security detail. Like, and they will escort you to your car. What happens after that is on you. Or what you can do is they'll have a way that you can basically put the money in, like, some type of account, so you're not physically being handed a bag full of cash to walk out of the building with. Like, they don't hand a big bag with a big dollar sign on, they go, there's your $10 million or whatever. This is decades ago, before your time. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a reason there's a security detail they put out there. I'm going to try to not have to deal with that right now. Because you were... Oh, no, you're 2,400. Welcome, Clark. Don't hit that button yet. That would be what's referred to as a mistake. Okay. So, we advance a day, and then we hire Clark immediately. And then we fire our other person. Cool. Because if I hired him that day, I'd have to pay his wage for a day he's not going to actually work. Versus now, we go immediately and say, hey, welcome, Clark. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And, where are you at, buddy? Hey. Sorry. I'm gonna need you to leave, and I only want to see you back as a customer. Start your EP and go to sleep. Oh, that works. Hey, Clark, where are you, buddy? There's Clark. Oh, right, I have to actually tell you to go inside. Hey, I'm gonna need you to man the counter. But try to know one, then don't, I guess. You get to make your own choices. Okay. Did we already add the bat onto our stuff to be ordered? Yes. He's where you get so many stinkers you do, you're spending a fortune on spray. So how fast are you? There you go, buddy. You actually seem like an actual competent cashier. It's almost like hiring the cheapest person you could possibly find who, you know, didn't seem to really care one way or the other. Maybe not the most effective business strategy. It's almost like finding people and paying them their worth is a good idea as a business operating person. To be fair, I've seen at card shops plenty of people who are in like their late 20s and 30s who also come in absolutely stinking a BO. You're just like, man, come on. Get your stuff together. What you do at your house is fine, but... Okay, we also need the spray. We got cleaner, the basic box, the red dice, the rare box. Anything else I need on the stock? Got the bats, there's a red dice, there's a spray. Those are board games, those are a separate thing. Alright, so let's get that ordered. Nope, put that back. Wrong button. Invest a laptop, cast the ceiling because you're one decadent thing, but worth it. Hey. I have known plenty of people who watch stream as they go to sleep. That's what I could never do. If I have a TV or something running while I'm sleeping, trying to sleep, I don't sleep, I watch. That's just not how I work. Okay, so... Gonna need more of the tabletop games. Then go here, I need you. And you. Nope, not wrong one. Alright. Sleeping anywhere is your superpower? I'm jealous. I've known some people, like, when I was younger, I could sleep at a lot more places I could get away with. Because I was always kind of pushing myself to, like, an absolute breaking point of a limit. That I was just too, like, I was so exhausted half the time, it's like, oh, you know, getting tired, I'm just gonna go sleep right here. But that's like literally I'd run from place to place and all that. So you're suffering from insomnia currently? Got 4 hours of sleep and got up because you couldn't fall back to sleep? Yeah. It's easy to sleep anytime, anywhere. Just be anemic. Ask me how I know. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things out there that can cause you to get, like, lots and lots of sleep. Like, really throw things off in that regard. Alright. So, we can continue to expand our store. This shelf is full. Man, Like, those games end up moving fast. The only downside is there's no really making the game orders that much cheaper. Because you pay shipping, and it's something like $5 up to like 4 items or whatever it is, and then it's, after that point, it ends up just being that much more. Yeah, I probably just need more warehouse space dedicated to board games, just because of how few fit in the box. Alright, so we're going to need you. And I'm going to need the sleeves. And I'm going to need, this is absolutely critical, a big box of cards. And one level I'll be able to buy the legendary card packs. And the reason I need the absolute big box here is because I'm going to open these up. And you got a $20 card. Let's see, you take tranquilizers to sleep, basically sleeping meds. Yeah. It's always dangerous when you have to depend on sleeping meds. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But there's almost all sleeping meds. Addiction isn't the thing. You build up a tolerance and you grow up a dependence. That's what I'm looking for, a dependence on them. So it's always tricky with those things of juggling, going like, no, I really need to get the sleep for my own health and all that. But also making sure you don't overuse medication that you then depend on it, and then if you don't take the medicine you can't sleep. And $32, saying your problem is now hanging to summer, which means less sleep because it's just too hot. Oh yeah, no, it's way easier to sleep when it's cold than it's hot. I feel you there. And $23. Because the window doctor said, you think you're depressed, you're sleeping like 12 hours every day. Next way is like, no, you're not depressed. You're just so anemic, it's amazing you're upright. Please eat some spinach. Yeah. I think it was, because with that, like with iron and all that, I want to say, if I remember correctly, spinach wasn't actually that good for iron. Like, statistically it has lots of iron in it, but there's the concept of bioavailability, which is where you eat something and the amount of nutrients your body is physically able to absorb from that. And if I remember correctly, iron was like pretty poor on bioavailability of iron, whereas I want to say broccoli was really good. And $10. Your blood pressure tests come back, maybe. Because that's one of my big frustrations, that it's like, you're trying to eat healthy and stuff like bioavailability, where like, when you look at the package, it tells like how much nutrients is in the food, not how much nutrients you get. And there's a whole big fuzziness because of biology. $27. But you're like, look man, I just want to know what I gotta eat to be healthy. Like, if I need iron, what do I need to eat to actually get iron into my blood? Broccoli is also good with cheese. Yeah, it's good with cheese, it's good with butter, it's good slightly burnt. Broccoli's amazing. $15. Let's see, and you actually haven't gotten them refilled in years because you'd get more than you'd need. You've gotten rid of 1 out of 4 completely filled bottles of pills. But yeah, no, it's good to be careful about. There's definitely medications you can grow a dependence, and like I said, there's a juggle. Like, if you need it, you need it. Like, by all means. Not sleeping is not healthy. $15. But the other thing, it's just one of those things you gotta be careful about. And there's lots of medications that are like that. And I'm someone who, like, if I need a medication, I will use it, by all means. But it is whole things. You just like broccoli? For it is too tasteless? Huh. Have you only had it boiled? Because usually broccoli actually has a bit of a taste to it. Like that was kind of the joke that comes up every once in a while. Like, you want to know how, you want to know how to, like, not like vegetables? Boil them. Boiling them is how parents ruin vegetables for children forever. Boil and steamed vegetables, 90% of vegetables, once you boil and steam it, just sadness. $12. Not necessarily all of them, but the vast majority of them. It's like, what if your vegetable lost most of its taste? Broccoli's in good raw? Yeah, you put some pepper and all that on there and it's good. It's all about the sauce. The florets are so good for holding sauce. Cheese, teriyaki, what have you. Yeah. Like, for me with, like, broccoli, it's... You just... I'll put, like, I'll fry it or whatever, and you'll just... Barely burn it. Just a little burn. Put, like, a little salt, little pepper on there, and just give it just a wee bit burnt. Don't, like, annihilate it into charcoal. Just enough you got a little bit of crunch here and there. Steam them and add a fair bit? No, you've ruined it. Get out of here. Don't steam them. That's my opinion of how you ruin stuff, is you steam or you boil it, and it's just moosh. Like, there's stuff steamed and boiled that are good. But, like, to me, that is how you get people to not like vegetables, is you steam them. You say, what if the vegetable was beige? And you left all your flavor in the pan. Steamed broccoli is tasty, I prefer it. Hey, more power to you. Most of the time with stuff like that, once I've had it steamed, it's like, oh, well, all the flavor's gone. Yeah, but don't let me yuck your yum or anything. Or blanch them. Blanching them is good. What's happening here? Also, this happened. You just realized you've been throwing your supercomputers into the awesome trash? No. No. That's a reason, like, I'll have people like, oh yeah, you should just have it overflow, like, stuff overflow into the awesome thing. I'm like, no. No. I didn't mean to do that, but I've been talking about needing to do that for a while, so we've done it by mistake. It's fine. Oh, hey. All right. Cool. Like, just because you're taking over 2 conveyors, not even because overflow is going straight in the trash. Ah, yeah. You can get yourself in trouble with a lot of that stuff. All right, so first things first, open the store. Yeah, so I gotta pay my workers a lot more, but you know. Clark's really good. Look at, and Clark is here prompt. This man right here, this guy, knows how to work. Where's our stock person? Anyone see him? That's him way down the street. Just saying, we already got like 10 customers here. You need to be more like... So you need to be more like Clark. All right. And let's check with the sorting. Okay, I actually do have some more expensive cards. I just got switched pages earlier than I wanted. But you have pretty storage space where everything goes, and tangled it with a line quick wire. Trash because you use massively overproduced. Yeah. I do very little with the awesome sink. So drop you there, grab you, put you back on the shelf. I didn't mean to pick that up. So let's go here. I need... So you have the Epic Box and the Epic Pack. I'm also going to need the stock, accessories, these. Waiting to pay our bills, and then we'll get that going. Alright. We're going to start flipping all these to the bigger boxes as well. Because I said I was going to do that for a while, and I kept not doing it. And I actually did the one, so let's just lean in and start buying the bigger boxes. Because these ones, I want them on the bigger boxes. I want these on the bigger boxes, which we did just get the bigger box for that. Use things for loops for additional products like aluminum. Yeah, no, you could do that. Usually I don't worry about it too much. What I'll probably do is I'll probably wait till it gets like super endgame in it. And then like once things are like done, just take like the super endgame products and see what I can make to just dump into the sink in largest amounts I can. You know, when you're at that phase of the game where like it's that or literally just running around and getting hard drives and somber sloops or whatever. It seems pretty easy to get everything you care about in Awesome Sync, unless you want all the cosmetics. Yeah, even then, most of the cosmetics are not expensive. There's 2 or 3 things that have additional things. The Awesome Sync is also good anywhere you've got like a process that it has something that can get out of whack, like silica. That's the one I used the Awesome Sync for. Was when I was producing aluminum, sometimes the silica would get too far ahead and the whole thing would get locked up. And so I had the Awesome Sync set to overflow to just dump the silica into the void as a way of deleting it to just make sure things didn't start chugging. Alright, so I'm gonna need you for the figurines. But first, pay my bills. Because you know you're worth it, Clark. You shared a screenshot on the Satisfactory channel. I'll take a peek. It looks lovely. That is a well-organized setup. That's that was the thing that after watching the last time I saw Whoa Jess like working on her factory. It's probably not something I'd do on stream because it'd take me forever. But for me doing like all the achievements completionist kind of thing, I could see wanting to take the time to, instead of where I've got mine where it's just like the manifold is straight down that kind of way, literally just putting the platform, having those sink underneath the floor, having like a subfloor that's a couple tiles high, and then just running like all the crisscrossing belts through there. So that way on the top, it's just this nice clean rows and all that. Because I could also see you doing that where you have nice walking lanes and everything. I definitely don't think I'd be able to get my place looking nearly as nice as what Jess has though. Like her factory is a work of art. All right. So the next thing that's going to be happening here soon is getting the legendary cards, because we're right about to hit level 26, and then I'm getting the legendary to start stocking those. The catch is I'm going to need more shelf space, and I don't got room for that. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Because I want to keep... Oh, you know what I could probably do? We could probably shuffle some stuff around and get the workbench someplace else. Maybe. I mean, realistically, what I need to do is just buy more space. Here's 660. Those are all doing fine. Oh, I meant to buy an extra box of cards. Restock this with something more valuable than the little onesie, twosie dollar cards are back down to. All right. You're about to photodump some more? What I'd shared was Storge? Yeah. And by all means, for those who don't know, we do have a channel on the Discord for Satisfactory. You know, share your factories and whatever. That is absolutely a-okay. Alright. So we've got ourselves the black dice. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this real fast so I don't get too distracted. We got two different other type of dice going on here. So we got the black dice and the blue dice. All right. Yeah, so the value of our cards is starting to get pretty low that we're purchasing. Here, I'm gonna grab that. Oh man, that tells you something when my man Clark there just speeding through the transactions even has a line. Okay, because he flies through those. All right. Okay, so we've got $300-something worth because we got the dice. I'm gonna go down here and buy myself an extra box just for me. Why are you leaving those? Oh, right. Okay. So this will be a little weird. We're gonna go ahead and fill up this box real fast. And grab you. You're not even the right box. Grab this box. Fill up that shelf. Get out of... No. Okay, so cannot mix different box sizes. So you know what we're doing with this? You live on the shelf now. I'm gonna buy another one of those. And these are for me to open now. No, get out of my way. Oh, that's fine. These are ones I was buying for me to open as well. So he restocked the shelf with it. It's fine. Because I got the extra individual packages I'm gonna open. Alright. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do real fast? Fast opening. I thought I could change the... It's fine. What I was gonna try and do is... Can we change what a valuable card is considered? I thought we could. Because that's what I was gonna do, is where it stops in a valuable card. Oh, high value threshold. There we go. I want to make that 25. That way we'll only stop at cards that are worth more than $25 or they're new. Because stopping at little $10 cards is a little underwhelming. 135. There we go. It's almost closing time. Yeah, we're breaking out a bunch of these. I'll have to see when it comes to like going through the cards. Oh, you know what I bet you? I bet you when you organize your binder, there's probably a way you can organize it for like the collection kind of thing. That way you'll see like a couple cards in the space or whatever, and you can figure out what's missing from that. Just like what you should be opening to finish your collection. We're nowhere near that consideration yet. We'll get there. We're gonna hit level 26. With level 26, I can get the legendary quality cards. Level 26, I believe I can also get the next higher step. No, actually, was it level 26 or the maybe 30? I was gonna say we could get our, you know, really like top, like the absolute best stock person. And so when we do that, that'll be a good news. All right. So we're getting rid of those smaller boxes. And we're just going to start keeping the bigger ones. Yeah, so get through a lot of these. All right, 136. I think that's a duplicate. Nope, it's not. I'm wrong. I was excited about selling the $136 card. Oh, Clark ditched. I was like, man, how are you still here? Cool. So we had a bunch of unhappy customers. I gotta figure out what is the thing that's leading my customers to being so unhappy. Because it definitely feels a bit arbitrary at times that like I just have a bunch of customers, it's like 20 customers are unhappy. I'm like, but why? I do feel like that is one change I'd like to see in the game. Is just instead of just saying unhappy customer, be like, okay, these customers are unhappy because they had to wait too long. Those customers are unhappy because of this. You know, they had to be around a stinky person, or service took too long, or they tried to come in for some merchandise and you didn't have what they were looking for, or like whatever the things that create dissatisfied. All right. Let's see, if they didn't play a game or buy anything either too expensive, didn't find what they look for, they are unhappy. Yeah, well that's the thing. I get the consequence of them being unhappy. What my comment is more is I would like at the end of the day being able to like go to that number and click on it. It says like, here's how many people were around someone stinky, here's how many people who got upset because it cost too much, here's something. The everyone has Twitch to make power-ups take up less space. They take up more space now. Yep, no, that's... A lot of us have given very direct feedback on that. Like, it's very clear that Twitch wants to make power-ups a thing. And for the record, I think the idea of power-ups is not a bad idea. The ability, because like we already do that as content creators where people will have it where you can, you know, donate 69 bits. And it goes, oh my, or whatever. That's not a thing here, but you get the idea. That there are channels who do that. That, you know, you can get sound effects or whatever for certain specific bit amounts. Putting that into the redeems area would be really nice to have that go through, because one of the problems you run into is someone gives the 69 bits and your bot doesn't react correctly, and now suddenly they've given the bits and the thing's not working, or whatever. So I do think it is good to have that as an option. But right now, where it like puts it on the top and it's huge and all that, that's no good. Increase the cost of winning Twitch? Absolutely. But yeah, no, I liked, there's a content creator named Nutty, who went ahead and came up with a really slick UI where instead of being like the big squares, all your redeems and all that were bars. And that you would have it where you could sort it out, and there would be like folders and all that. You could drop them down and all that. That would be nice to make it far more navigatable for the redeems. And then you could have redeems where the redeem, like you'd click on it, and you could have it have both points and bits as options. And they would always be in a dedicated place where points are on the left, bits are on the right. And very last Lardine dropping 69 bits. Yeah, no, I don't have anything like that. I have I think it's 100 bits that does like, what was it, like the yeah or whatever? No, what was it? It just plays like a little sound effect. It's like it's not a big thing like some big funny, like again, the oh my or anything like that. There was something that the, when the bot would say people found funny, like yeah or whatever. Oh man, I was gonna actually step away to use the restroom during the ad break, and then I just got into opening packs and just totally missed that game. But thank you again so much for those 69 biddies. I do appreciate it. Before I forget to say that. But what that does mean is because I forgot to step away during the ad break, I'm gonna step away real fast to use the restroom. I'll even leave the game up so you can see the stuff happening here kind of thing. It's just gonna be like 2 seconds to quickly pop in the restroom, wash my hands, pop back out kind of thing. Let's just make sure everything's sound in the store for just a moment before I do that. Alright, well, I will be back in just a minute, so thank you again for tuning in, and I'll be right back. All right. I heard the raid right as they step away. Thank you so much for the raid. Who was it? Wasted Space. Thank you so much for the raid. Literally, I was like, I have to use a restroom. I missed going to the restroom during the ad break. I got to do that now. Ran off to the ad break, and I got the wireless headset and got right in the bathroom and immediately heard the raid. It's like, well, I'm here now. But yeah, it's been going pretty good. We've been doing some Satisfactory a whole bunch lately. We're doing some TCG and all that stuff. It's going in. But welcome in, Raiders. First of all, can I get a shout out? I'll go ahead and do it myself in case it hasn't already been done. It probably has been because usually my mods are on point with it. But just in case, let me verify that you did get a shout out. But for those who don't know, Wasted Space, absolutely fantastic content creator. I can absolutely recommend. Been playing, looks like some Satisfactory and all that lately, which is perfect. We were just doing that a little bit ago. Because Satisfactory is an amazing game that you should absolutely check out, as well as you should also check out Wasted Space. Plays a whole bunch of different games. So definitely hang out there. But welcome in, Raiders. I am Rual Storge, who play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold a world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed, 135,121 zombies killed on one character in one life with no mods to change itemization or vehicles, and on a harder than apocalypse settings and all that good stuff. That said, that record has been beaten, but it's just one of the things I've gotten known for. And then there was Lamprey. Yes, Lamprey is the one who took my record, and then just kept going for a full year. And so now the new record, I always get the exact number wrong, but it's like 990 something thousand kills now. It was just a hair shy of 1 million. And I got to be there when he did, or sorry. No, I watched the clip when, I can't remember now. Either way, I saw the death. And people were like, oh man, like, no, it was a clip. I saw the clip of it. That's right. I had to think about that. People were like, oh man, like, he must have been heartbroken. He's like, no, he yelled freedom. No one touched that. I went so hard on it. You want to dedicate a year to zombie murder? No, that's the thing. People are like, you're going to take your record back, right? It's like, no. I'm happy I had the record. Lamprey has 100% earned it, and he can have it. It's his. He's earned it. It belongs to him. When the record nearly becomes, I stopped because I got bored. No, but really. He yelled freedom. He did. Like, there's a clip of it where he dies like, I'm free. Like that kind of thing. I half expected him to stop playing the game entirely for, like, maybe forever afterwards. But he's back to it. But I can imagine he feels the pressure that he's grown his audience on that. And that can be really a difficult thing to do when you have your audience kind of really in one category. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to pay your bills and all that. Even then, just not being in that meat grinder, coming up with new challenges for yourself, all that does help. But anyways, at the moment, we're playing some trading card simulator or whatever the name of this game is. The thing everyone else is just, GG, mate. And it's like, no, just no, not going there. Oh yeah, no, that's just... Like, I have a character who's alive that's a little bit below 200,000. And I play it maybe once every other month. I still enjoy Project Zomboid, but it's one of those things that, like, I can go and play, like, a little bit here and there and really have a good time. But if I sit down and start dedicating to a run, the burnout comes hard and fast. Setting the record in the first place was enough to burn me out. Like, I'll be fully transparent on that one. Okay. So we're trying to save up right now for the Legendary card pack, which is 2,500. You potatoing this year? Potatoing this year. Oh no, so I'm going to play when Build 42 drops. Let me check it out. So not gonna lie, bleak midwinter burns you out pretty well too. Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those things that a lot of people really stress out when it comes to, like, oh, they're getting ready to face their first winter in Project Zomboid. They're like, oh man, it's gonna be so rough. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. And it's just kind of one of those things that as you learn the game system, you start to realize as a survival game, Project Zomboid does not actually have much under the hood there. Oh, this wasn't just a normal winter? Oh, were you doing the cryogenic winter? You've never seen winter unless you start in winter? Bleak Midwinter was Wasted server. Ah, okay. Where was a crisp minus 50 in the summer? Okay. Interesting. No, I haven't heard of that one. Because when I was messing with it, like, you had Cryogenic Winter was like the big one for cold stuff. And like if you chose the easy or normal Cryogenic Winter, it was easy. Like you just had that early, you know, rush to get some clothes and then you're good. And then you could choose the really hard Cryogenic Winter, which was incredibly boring. Because it was basically, you would make a campfire and you would hug it. And then you'd run to the next place and grab the thing and you'd make a campfire and you would hug it. Because you couldn't survive without either power or basically hugging campfires for long. It's a bit like Cryogenic, but you but got tired of just, it's cold all the time. So you made it variable and then server linked to the randomization. Oh, that's cool. You know what that, okay. Do you have any type of warning or something to the player? Like, does it go through like the radio or something like that? Because I could see that as a very fascinating way of playing, that it would make the radio really matter. They're the warning saying, hey, tomorrow it's gonna be expletive cold outside. And so you'd be like, oh crap, let me get some fuel ready so I can go, you know, hug a fire. Let's see, so it's sync the weather for everyone. It's generally cold, but it's just not always cold, but it slowly moves from one weather to the next. Okay, that's good. I like that. That's neat. What was the name of that? Or is this like a mod that's available? Because that would be definitely one I would check out. Storms come in big style, but those have some build up. I love the radio link. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something you can get at easy. Bleak Midwinter. Bleak Midwinter. Because what I might do is whenever Build 42 gets announced as coming soon, that seems like the kind of thing I could do to, one, warm myself back up into some Project Zomboid. Now granted, even when I take breaks for like 6 months at a time or whatever and come back, literally I'll pull up my save file that is like max difficulty kind of stuff, and usually I can hop right back in. Like, it's surprising that the rust doesn't get me. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Now granted, sooner or later that's not going to be true, and I'm going to hop in and be like, nah, it's fine, I'm going to die. But, you know, then I'll yell freedom and I'll close the game. That's just how you do it. Yes, for the record, I still do love myself some Project Zomboid. But, you know. You play any game long enough, you're like, no, really. Okay. So, what's gonna happen today is we get exciting stuff today in game. Because it is time to get new merchandise. So, we get the legendary card packs. Which, dear goodness, are expensive. I also realized I don't have the shelf to put them on, which is why I hadn't gotten them before. How much is it for more space in my store? $900. Okay, so $900. We will shove this into wherever the new area opening up. Buy one pack and open it. We'll have to buy a box of them. Alright, you gotta go? No problem, Wasted Space. Thank you again so much for the raid. I really do appreciate it. I do hope you have a fantastic evening and all that good stuff. Yeah. We can drop you off here. See, the thing, most of Waste Odyssey has hundreds of, if not thousands of hours in space engineers. So we know about burning out in a game. Yep, that's where I was first made familiar with Wasted Space's channel. Well before I started streaming, I caught quite a bit of space engineers over there. I couldn't tell you what was happening at the time because that's been years now. Alright, so I need... You're dropping stuff in the trash, so I think that's not stocked up in the shelf. So I need a purple box. The purple loose packs. I need 2 of you. Three of you, I believe. Yep. You're all good down there. I am fresh out of the blue boxes, so it's 2 of you. Oh, no, wait. That's fine. I'll take the 3 and I'll go ahead and try them myself. I need... Actually... Put a stop to this finally. Give me that box. Drop it off here. Cool. Apparently, I need a box of the white dice. Looks like we're in a full restock kind of day. I need 2 boxes of the bats. That's gonna hurt. So, I'm up to the point of looking at about $2,000 worth of inventory I need to restock. So, that's a problem. And on top of that... Okay, so I also need to go to our tabletop. I need 2 of those. Alright, so tabletop I can do right now. And I need to pay my bills. Alright. So that's going to be a big pain for us right now, is I've got... Because I spent the $2,500 to unlock the new packs, that was $2,500 of restocking inventory. That's not going to happen right now. And I'm just going to have to live with that for a moment. And then when we get that money top back up, should be in better shape for all this. Cool. Because not only do I need to do that, is I need to get the $2,000 to re-top off my inventory, but then on top of that, actually, did I still have the legendary in there? No. Because after that, then I need 600 to buy another unit of wall. And then when I get the another unit of wall, I can put my workbench back there, get room for another shelf, and then we can put the legendaries on the shelf. Because that's my issue now, is I don't really have... You know what? That's not true. I could put them here temporarily, just so we can sell them and all that. And then we can... I mean, let's just get the wall. Hey, Army of Stars, how's it going? Gonna do a thing because I can, which is do a shout-out for Army of Stars, another content creator on the platform. Definitely should check them out. Been doing some just chatting recently. Have anything else fun you got going? This game always reminds you the time you helped out your local game shop. I never did like a formal capacity. Definitely went to the local card shop, and you know, when people were trying to figure stuff out, I'd try and talk them through it. But it was more like me just being interested in the game than anything for like the store itself. It'd just be more people like, you know, interested in checking out Magic the Gathering and not knowing where to start and be like, hey, you know, don't spend a whole lot of money. Start over here. Get like this beginner thing. It won't cost you much. And then decide if you like the game or not. And if you like the game, then you can start spending spending more money on it, and then watch all your money disappear. Welcome to your new addiction. Let's see. Everything's getting really low. Okay, what do we have in our cart that is so much money? Oh, it's those epic card boxes. Yeah, no, those things are... We do need to restock them, and then the plushies are pretty rough too. It's fine. Because, like, with all that, none of our items are out of stock. There's a bunch that are low, but none of them are out of stock. It's just our reserves are getting knocked down, and as that's happening, I keep having to... Okay, so we already do have the card boxes. 2 of them queued up. But each time I empty one of these boxes, it's like, oh, that's that much more inventory. Because you did a bunch of Moana games, Key Locker and Virgo. Really weird but interesting games, and you're going to look into Frostpunk 2 next week. Gotcha. I've heard good things about Frostpunk 2. For me personally, I just didn't get a hold of a key, and there's so much coming that's like, alright, you know what, that's fine. I'll just deal with rare. So this is the epic and the rare. So we're up to needing 4 of those boxes. No, I'm wrong. 3 of those boxes. 2,200 bucks. Got the cleanser on the list. All right. You love the first one even though you're bad at it? Have you ever heard any... Is there any way to be good at Frostpunk? Like, honestly? Oh, yeah, no, you can learn the game enough that you can get through it. One of the problems, though, is a lot of the events have, like, a certain scriptedness of it. And a lot of them have, like, good and bad outcomes and all that, but the good and bad outcomes are not created equal, as it were, or there's ways to mitigate it. But, I've definitely gotten to the point, or it was at the point with Frostpunk, the regular stuff, I could just kind of knock it out pretty easy. Some of the, like, honestly, a lot of Frostpunk is just knowing the actual story on the different tiles and all that. Once you have that, you can usually prepare in advance. It is a problem that happens in a lot of those games. For the record, I still think Frostpunk's amazing, and you should absolutely try it if you haven't. And you like, you know, those kind of city builders. But they are the kind of game that once you learn, like, the series of events that happens, the randomization isn't strong enough. I'm just running out of things. And just not getting the money in. It's amazing, but it's bleak. Oh yeah, no. Frostpunk is a super bleak game. All right. Yeah, so good news is all of our inventory on our shelves is still good. Like, everything is still stocked up here. It's just our inventory in our warehouse shelves is fast depleting. The last autumn was something else, like in a good way, yeah. So it's time for you to head to sleep. But you have achieved nuclear power, so you just need to figure out how to produce the power with the reactor now. It should be straightforward. Yeah, no, nuclear power has a lot of setup, but once you get it there, it's pretty good. It's also super dangerous in the game. Just because all that radiation and all that. I need you all to spend more money. Buy my things. Go buy the bat. It's 67 bucks. All right, I'm gonna have to cut down the what I'm ordering, because it's taking too long. So let's cut back on the plushies, knock that price down a little bit. I need the cleanser. We need those cards. The cards I need. Knock the dice. You need a lot of these things. It's just a lot of inventory is running out at the same time. And putting $2,500 into a license is just deleting $2,500 of my net worth. And that net worth is my inventory. Yeah, once you get it going, it must be nice. We'll stop running out of power and be able to stop relying on so much on all the fuel. Well, you should be able to keep your factory entirely running on oil power without having to even turn to nuclear. Like, that goes a long way. But still. Alright, we're almost there. We need just a couple $100 more, and they'll be able to get all this stuff, and we'll be able to top off the warehouse quite a bit. And then we'll have to wait a little bit longer to get the Noctals and all that. Hey, lady, buy the Noctal. Come on. Go buy the boxes? No? Well, buy something. I mean, I'm not happy you bought a $3 card. But we'll let little Johnny know that little Johnny was worth only $3 of love. The $70 stuffed animal, too much. The $4 pack of cards, too much. $3 individual card, that's only okay. That's the exact worth of little Johnny. Alright. Before we pay our bills tomorrow, unless we manage to get some major sale at the last second, which buying a $3 card is not moving the way of major sale. I mean, it's a $17 card. I didn't realize it still had any good cards over there. Wrap it up, get out. Still not enough. Alright. Have you broken your record yet? Oh. Put up the $1,500 card? No, we gotta collect them all. Nah, that's my card. We've talked about this. I don't play this because I want to have a functional and stable business. This is 100% to fuel a habit. And the habit is collecting all the cards. The moment I start selling things, the whole habit's ruined. But no, like right now my record card is still about 1,500. We haven't managed to, like, we opened a bunch of boxes earlier. At the moment we're kind of in a bit of a thing because we're going up to like the next tier higher card. And the issue was the license cost $2,500 and we're kind of paying for that now. But we're only a sale or two away from being able to restock most of our shelves. So your mindset is the game version of real life card shop owners. Just replace, play this game, with run this business. Well, there's definitely card owners who 100% they're all about the money. And it's like, they don't really care about the game that much. And then there are ones that, like, very genuinely, it's their hobby, and they just try and use the card shop as a means of keeping them afloat. Which is a tricky thing to do when, you know, your hobby and your work are the same. And so every time you engage your hobby, it's costing you money from your job. Alright, and with that, massive order just showed up. Which is super needed. And that still wasn't everything I needed to order. We just kind of hit the point where it's like, I can't put this off any longer. Your hobby and your work are literally the same. I mean, the big key thing is, though, does your hobby cost your work money? That's where things start to get rough. And that can happen with, like, streaming and all that. That you can very easily have no chance of being successful financially in streaming because you're just buying every game that comes out so you can play it on stream. I know people be like, oh, but you can write it off your taxes. Like, yeah, but writing it off your taxes doesn't give you all the money back. And you can only write off your taxes as far as your taxes go when you're out of... Like, when you don't have more money to write tax against, your write-off literally gets you 0. Every time you engage your hobby, it costs you money from your job. Is this not the definition of a hobby? Usually there's salary in between, though. I mean, you're not wrong. I think the key thing, though, is it's costing literally from your job. Like, your initial income also goes down, because it ends up being a double whammy in that regard. Because the revenue coming in is reduced, and then there's also the direct expense. Because this merchandise I'm supposed to be selling, if I'm not selling it, I don't get that revenue. And then plus, it's also something of value I'm taking on top of it. Random tax, I think that's the most misunderstood thing when it comes to owning a business. Oh yeah. Well, even when it's not a business thing, writing anything off with taxes, it's just one of those things like, right, but that doesn't magically make it not cost anything. People grossly overestimate how much that helps you financially. It does help, being able to write stuff off. But not enough to erase what you've spent. Okay. It mitigates. Yeah, exactly. It's a decent mitigation, but that's as far as it goes. Alright, so now I've got more stuff to add to the collection. So I'll also need 2 boxes of the Noctil. I'll need a box of the sleeves. I'll need 2 boxes of these. Are you still... Okay, what are you stacking right now? Okay. I'll need a box of those. You might empty that box. Yeah, you'll empty that box up on the shelf, so we still are ordering the correct amount. Everything else looks good here. Alright. Oh, that's not the one I'm looking for. Alright, so in the meantime, for tabletop games, get that ordered. Legendary cards? I'm still trying to get my shelf sorted out. I know everyone's excited to see the legendary cards, but right now, I'm still trying to get my inventory back caught up, and I still have to pay my bills once I get my inventory caught up as well, and that's going to be another, like, $300-400. And then after that, I need to get the room to put my workbench so I can put the shelf to put the legendary cards on. There's just a lot of stuff I gotta get lined up, so it's gonna be $1,063. Because I definitely want to get more valuable cards in here, because getting like $4 a card, not exactly making me serious cash. Open a box, it's fine. Uh-huh. Alright. So with that, my next spending is going to be paying my bills. Because that needs to happen. But that should get all my merchandise and all that restocked. Here's some juju for your next deck. Okay. Don't know if it's good or bad. Results might vary. Thank you so much for the 3 stream streak. I do appreciate that. Thank you for catching the last 3 streams without missed one. Thank you again for that. Sounds like some money stress. Time to open packs so you can try for a dopamine hit. There is a reason a lot of hobby shops don't have a great track record of lasting a long time. It's really easy to be stressed out and be like, okay, I'm gonna go here. Okay, you're already on your way. I was gonna grab the spray. Did I not already buy a box of that, or did we just sell a bunch already? Alright. Speaking of that earlier, by the way, the trade-off of buying, let's see, buying a game because it's new and might get you viewers and earn more, and the financial cost of buying a game before you get to send review copies is real. Yeah, I mean, with a lot of that stuff, there's not many games that I'm gonna go out of my way to be like, okay, I'm gonna grab this because I think it's gonna turn into a whole bunch of viewers. The only exception being is if it's a particular game that specifically there is interest in my channel that I know that's a game that's going to perform well. And even then, if I can't get a hold of a key, it's really a mix. Now, there's certainly a thing to go with all that, where if it's a game that I'm like, hey, I know I'm going to want to buy this for me, and it might work out on my channel, that's a little bit easier because I see it as a personal expense in that regards. But yeah, no, generally speaking, like Frostpunk. Frostpunk 2 is a $45 game. I was not fortunate enough to get a hold of a review copy, and so I've opted that I will probably not be playing it. Because there's enough people playing it, my likelihood of getting a bunch of new viewers from it is not particularly good. Partly because I was at TwitchCon, so I didn't get in that initial wave anyways. And so for me, looking at it from a business perspective of spending $45, is that going to turn into a net increase in viewership or subs or whatever of $45? Probably not. Very unlikely. Versus me continuing to stream just what I'd normally stream. Like, if it, very genuinely Frostpunk 2, I would actually expect potentially to have a normal viewership, maybe even a slightly reduced viewership. It all, like, that's a wild card one that I don't feel confident on where it would land. Versus, like, when Farming Simulator 25 comes out, I played a lot of Farming Simulator 22 on the channel. If I didn't get hold of a key, I still feel like that's a game I would certainly be able to make my money back with. That it is a category I've been in a lot, people know me in the category, and yada yada. There's a very good chance a lot of people would tune in to check me out in that category. So that one, it's a little bit easier for me to justify. You didn't get the complimentary acne cream and Chevron joystick pad? Graciously from Twitch Amazon? Oh yeah, and as a Twitch partner, I got my visor. I'll probably never wear it, but I did get it. Can't not wait for Farm Sim? Or cannot wait. Okay, sorry, I misread that. I put a double negative there. You needs it? Yeah, no, that's, I was making the comment that we've got Planet Crafter as a DLC coming out in a couple of days. It's like 3-4 days. Really excited for that one. I have requested a key. I haven't heard anything back. Realistically, I probably won't hear anything for 2-3 days, one way or the other, if I hear anything. I would expect I'd probably get a hold of a key from how much I played that on the channel. That, like, I was, like, the first person in the category a number of times. So there's a very good chance I'll get a hold of that one. If not, I don't. We've got a little bit later, we've got the Factorio DLC. That's one I don't think I'll get a hold of the key through I'm not expecting to receive a key for that. But that is also a game I have put in a ridiculous number of hours. If I have to buy it, I buy it. Because I know I will buy it for me, regardless of what happens with stream. Then we've got Microsoft Flight Simulator has a big thing coming out in November. We've got Farming Simulator 25 has a big thing coming out in November. We have Overthrow. We're doing a sponsored Overthrow stream on the 14th. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming in. And then there's Next Fest is coming up. Then there's got the Steam Winter Sale is coming up. Like, this is the time of year. The challenge is what game I am playing. Like, there's not the, oh man, I gotta really start kind of like fishing in the bottom of the barrel. Like, where are we gonna be doing? Or I shouldn't state it like that. That implies wrong. That you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna be playing because there's not much happening. It's okay, there's this giant mountain of games moving right now, and I realistically, even if I wanted to play them all, there just isn't enough daylight. Or nightlight. Or awake hours. It's just not happening. You keep bringing those up. I don't want to see you leave that desk till all the customers are gone. Simple answer, don't sleep. I really genuinely like, there is a meme that it's like a stack of all the tasks, like schoolwork, go to work, eat lunch, all that, and then there's like the block of sleep, and he goes, oh man, there's just, they got this block, is like, there's just not a place to put this. And it shows the next frame, and like, unless it's them sliding the sleep block out of the stack. Yup. Ooh, what did you buy? What did you buy those? Oh, I see you, friend. You bought that plushie, man. I know, like, it's just... Yeah, I'm just gonna casually charge you $25,000. Don't mind me. I like you buying all the plushies. I went to try and type that in. Those plushies are all real expensive. Real expensive. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You can get out of here. No one's gonna be playing against you. Meanwhile... Yeah, she bought out a whole part of the shelf on those plushies. Which I'm here for. Those things are $70 a piece. That's the reason when I came across like 280s, I'm like, what'd you buy? Friendo friend. Okay, so let's take one last look at our order here. So we do need to get a box of the Noctil plushies. We need 2 of the rare card boxes. And that all looks good. And you two are just getting out of here, so that's perfect. So I can just go right here. We'll put in that order. Alright, how are we doing on time, by the way? Okay. Let's open a legendary box. I don't have legendary boxes. I have legendary packs. Now we should be able to make that happen this in-game day, because we just restocked our inventory. I should be able to get the like 4 or 5 or whatever $100 to expand the space. And once they expand the space, then we're good. Alright. Yeah, because like $1,400 that day went purely into just topping off the inventory. And to stream with it? That's exactly what I was thinking. Because that'd be about right, because we'll be able to get that done today. Because we should be able to get, $600 or so right away here towards the beginning of the day to expand the space. All right, bills are almost paid because we're making like can I check my money for the last couple days? I don't think we can. All right, that's fine. But just to tempt you all, just to show you, accessories, boom, yes, all, well, booster packs, legendary. We're gonna try to make that happen. If I can't make all 4 happen, that's fine. We'll drop to whatever I can make happen. Because one of those boxes we're gonna tear into, the other one I'm gonna try to put on a shelf. Could you stock any slower? You're like weirdly making it so I can't even stock the shelves normally. Alright, so I need a box of you. And you're working on that. That should be fine. Everything else we've got plenty of stock on. We have nothing on the shelf here. Okay, and there's all of our bills paid. Yeah, buy the plushies. That's right. I see, so you just emptied a box of these. All right. We're almost ready to expand the store because we paid all our bills. I don't have inventory that critically needs to be restocked. Okay. Yeah, because it's 900 for the store expansion. There are plushies in this game. That's not just a meme. Yep. Yep. We got all the plushes here. We got a little star. We've got whatever the pig thing is. We got the ghosty thing. We got, you know, the copyright safe Zubat. And you sell them for a completely unreasonable amount of money. $70 for a little copyright saved Zubat. Or sorry, $67.45, $43 for that one. $32 for that one. The star is $20. Now I just need statuette licenses. Oh man. Like a bunch of, you know, like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and Final Fantasy look-alike kind of statues. These are some prices. Hey man, how do you think we make our money? You think it's the cards? It's the plushes. Alright, and store expansion built. So now I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna shove it back here in this corner. Trying to think of the best way to actually make this work. Okay. Cool. Cart $1,700. We'll get that sorted out. We'll see where we're at. If we, like I said, if we get to the end of the day, I will be buying the legendary cards, and we will be popping a bunch of them. Managerial wall casts invisibility. Just hiding behind our shelves. We don't want to be here. You can't see me. I need you to get some big orders here. Sir, you could have bought more than that. $14? Nah, sir, $14? You need to get back. No, look, get back in there. Cheapskate. $24, we're getting there. Really? $670? Come on. I need to spend way more. That is an let's see. That is an anecdote to card shops. Miniatures recently, your local toy store started selling Game Workshop minis, and man, seeing Corn Blood Slaughter Impaler $80 now at Toys R Us is something else. Oh man, I used to do Warhammer 40k tabletop, and it was always deeply, deeply upsetting. When you're looking at those things, it'd be like, oh, it's the new editions come out. Oh, you want Belial because your army basically depends on him to function? Yeah, that's gonna be just a nice casual $65 for this like little pewter thing this big. Like, come on, man. Hey, I mean, she likes her stars, and that's $80. Thanks, lady. I'm just gonna have to buy the legendary ones by themselves. But that was a big reason I stopped playing Warhammer 40k tabletop. I was never one going out of my way to do like the competitive armies, because it was just one of those things that Games Workshop was notorious for every edition, changing the rules up, and your army would go from being like the best to the worst, or, you know, pretty bad. And then if you wanted to be competitive, you had to go and buy like the new units or whatever, and it would cost you literally thousands of dollars. So I was never one who was into that part of thing. But unfortunately, play with people who are 100% accept stuff like, this is generic Chaos Lord Abaddon. Cool? Cool. Yeah, no, absolutely. But like all the card places, like, no, your thing has to be the proper model. You can't use your custom stuff. Like, you can customize them, like paint them up and do all that. But if you wanted to have them, like, they had to like match what they were supposed to be. It was super annoying. Yeah, we're starting to get some actually decent price sales. Your main point was pretty funny, seeing the little Timmy's mom seeing boxes of Chaos and Dark Elder and Slanesh Daemons in toy shelves. Yep. That too. Hey, I mean, the kids can handle it. We used to have Jurassic Park with battle damage, where you'd have the Jeep and it'd shoot a missile at a T-Rex, and like this giant chunk of skin would pop off and have like the ribs would be inside. And you're like, man, toys were wild. You didn't think about it back there, like, this is blowing a hole in this animal. And people are more concerned about the karate chop action in this toy, and meanwhile you're just blowing chunks out of dinosaurs. Which, for the record, I have no problem with those toys, but it was just kind of wild, the stuff that people got caught up on, versus then you'd compare and go, wait a second, if we're talking about stuff here, one of these is way worse than the other. Alright, I just need 1 or 2 more sales. I cut down the supply of the legendary boxes I was going to get, just so I could get the sale to happen. I need about $80 more. We're selling a lot, but they're buying all the $3 cards and then leaving with that. Yeah, no, that's you can still get them where you can still get Warhammer ones that are metal nowadays, but it's like the vast majority of them are like plastic and resin. And it's only like some of like the really nice ones that they're still made out of cast metal. But those are also the ones that are like, yeah, this is $80. You're like, but why? I know there's not a nickel of metal in that. Come on, man. I need to spend just a little bit more money. Let's see, yeah. 40k minis were metal pewter before, and then they switched to resin, then fine cast, and then plastic. Yeah. Because they know people buy it anyways. Well, yeah, people have already bought into the game. They've already got thousands of dollars tied into it. And just because the newer ones are cheaper, they're not going to suddenly walk away from the thousands of dollars they already spent. All right, order is in. So we're going to put all this stuff on our shelves real fast. And then we've got a box of legendary. Well, actually, I mean, I have 2 boxes of legendary, but one of those is getting shelved for right now. But the second one, we got a box of legendary cards we're going to rip into. It's a brand new, off the presses. There's 1 box of the legendaries. Some cleaning spray. And we're going to go ahead and check out what we got there and see what goodies we got. I did snooze the ads as much as we can. We got about 10 minutes, so I'm going to try and get through these real quick in less than 10 minutes. Oh, all of them are going to be new. I forgot about that. So we got a $17 card. $41 card. There's a nice one. So far, we've only had the $45 card as like an actually, decent price card. We're getting tons and tons of new ones because it's a whole new collection. Gamba. The only reason I'm not going to do a Gamba now is we're already over time for my stream, $39. And we've got an ad break that I can't stop in 9 minutes. So I'm trying to actually get through this before the ad break happens. That way we can not subject you all to more ads if I can help it. Is it probably a Games Workshop thing? More like the type of resin, but they don't disclose what kind. Yeah.
Cheer for new cars.
Hey, Randall Thor, thank you so much for the 200 biddies. And yeah, there we go, a $38 card. A $45 card. Got some goodies in there. We're just opening cards after hours. That's what we're doing. The card shop's closed for the day, and we're just digging into the stock. Yeah, so I think the most valuable one we've gotten now was 45 out of this box. We got a bunch that are right around 40. Well, a handful that are right around 40. Come on, give me a good one. But the good news is these will go faster as we start getting more and more of them, because they'll stop stopping on new cards because there won't be as many. Alright. $37. So still hovering around that $40 price range for the better ones we're finding. Alright. I'm trying to go as fast as we can, just so I don't have, like, if it comes down to the point where we would get hit with the ad break, I'll get things going to raid out and all that. Just because I don't want to make people have to watch ads just to be like, here's your ad break, and bye. That's always a bad feel when you subject people to ads and then immediately end stream. Like, I don't try to do that. But you can only snooze for 15 minutes, and we've done it. I think we can get through all of it. Because we still got 6.5 minutes till I can't prevent it. Alright. Yeah, so like I said, the most we've had has all been around that 40. We've got about 8 or so cards we've gotten out of this that have been around that $40 price range. But at least the ads prevent pre-rolls. Well, if they didn't prevent pre-rolls, I wouldn't run them. Like, that's literally all it is. The pre-rolls are so bad that I just can't do it. Like, I did tests, like, effectively as close as I can to an A/B test between pre-rolls and mid-rolls over 15 times, and 100% of the time I had higher viewership with mid-rolls and pre-rolls. So, $42, so right around that 40 still. So you'll have people swear, it's like, oh no, you gotta be dumb to be running mid-rolls. And it got chased everyone. It's like, hey man, all my tests disagree. So we can have how we feel, and then we can have data. And the last 8. So we should be able to get this through, get a raid going, all that stuff. But yeah, so for the record, I will be back here tomorrow. Good chance I will be starting with Satisfactory tomorrow again. I am trying to finish for the second time since 1.0 came out. Before we have a bunch of the other games popping out, so that way I can be like, you know, Satisfactory, put that nice on the side. What's up? As long as you pause stream during mid-rolls, it's a better viewing experience than pre-rolls. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just sometimes, especially when you get into the middle of stuff, it's easy to miss. Yeah, so I got a bunch of cards with 45. Nothing amazing in those. But let me remember to save real fast. And with that said, chat, what's going to end up happening is, first of all, if you are watching over on YouTube, the stream will be ending abruptly because that's how that just works. But if you have enjoyed tonight's content and you're not already following the channel, don't forget to drop a follow. That way you can find your way back here in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and put up my ending stream screen and see who we can find to